man, that was such a close game, but it looks like I get to live to fight another day, baby. Let's go! What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Sam Talk Sports. Let's talk about that Bengals versus Titans AFC Divisional Playoff game. Man, what a game this was. Super competitive throughout, back and forth. And for any returning viewers, as you guys know, last week I posted a video titled Why the Cincinnati Bengals Will Upset the Tennessee Titans. And as you guys can see, lots of people didn't receive this video very well. They hated my opinions, they doubted my opinions, as you can see by the like-dislike ratio. Lots of people didn't really feel like the Cincinnati Bengals stood a chance. These comments also indicate that people felt like the Titans had this game in the bag. And I respect everybody's opinion, and I think everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But look at those Bengals, man. They impressed me so much. And Joe Burrow really pulled through. I really respect Titans fans because they're super passionate, and I feel like they always show up and support their team. And I really feel for them for this loss because honestly, I feel like the entire roster is super well built. But like I mentioned in my prediction video, I just don't believe and have faith in Tannehill, and I don't believe Tannehill is a good enough quarterback to lead the Titans to the promised land, to the Super Bowl, and eventually win the Super Bowl. To be honest with you guys, I believed the Bengals would pull out this upset simply because I did not believe Tannehill is a good enough quarterback. And I feel like this game proved that point. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this game and how the Bengals actually pulled off the seemingly miraculous upset, and how, the football world was stunned by such a prediction. And let's get right into it. So, the Bengals, they've been impressing me all season long, and in this game on the road versus the number 1 seed Titans, like I said, they pulled through. And Joe Burrow, man, he is a special quarterback. But I also want to give a huge shout to Evan McPherson. I mean, his 4 field goals, 2 field goals, especially at the end of the second quarter, and the fourth quarter, that game-winning field goal was over 50 plus yards. That's not a guarantee. And for McPherson to, be so steady and calm under pressure, huge shout to him. I feel like he, besides Joe Burrow, is probably the most important player for the Bengals in this game for them to pull out this win. And when I looked at this game, I felt like the Bengals were seemingly in control until that interception by Joe Burrow in the third, which I don't think was his fault. If we look at the play-by-play, let's start right at the start of the game. In my previous video, I mentioned that I did not believe Tannehill would lead this team to victory because of his touchdown to interception ratio being 17-14. If you discount and don't factor in that Texans game, obviously some people were like, you should factor that game in because, he played in it, and I completely understand where, you guys are coming from. But I just want to highlight that that was against a weaker opponent, one of the worst teams in the league, in the Texans. And when you face stronger competition like the Bengals in the playoffs, I didn't expect Tannehill to show out and play a great game, and evidently that was the case. First play of the game, Tannehill threw an interception, and that was kind of the story of this game, Tannehill's 3 interceptions. So, I feel like the Bengals were playing at a great pace, and when the Bengals ended the half, they were leading by 3, and they could really, I feel like they should have scored a touchdown on one of their drives that ended in a field goal. So even up 9-6, I felt like, man, the Bengals should have gotten more points. But they returned in the second half, boom, another touchdown. And then Tannehill led the team to a great drive. But look at this drive right here. Henry, Foreman, 4 plays, all rushing yards. And at the 9-yard line, Tannehill threw his first pass of that drive, and it was intercepted. So Tannehill really let this team down, especially when they want to gain momentum. And then after that field goal by Tennessee, Cincinnati threw an interception. Joe Burrow, that interception, but I wouldn't blame this interception on him because, the ball bounced off the receiver, and Hooker with that brilliant interception, such a close play. And I felt like, okay, at this point, after the touchdown, by Tannehill, huge play, AJ Brown with the catch, one-handed grab. I felt like at this point I was like, okay, the Titans, they've been playing real solid all game. This is their time to step up, and for Tannehill especially to step up and lead this team to victory. And after they tried running it fourth down, I mentioned in my previous video that Henry, I felt like he would be rusty. And if you look at the box score, Henry had a solid game. Not obviously not ideal in terms of that 3.1 average rushing yards per attempt, but I expected that rust to play a factor. So I didn't really understand why D'Onta Foreman didn't get more carries. 4 carries, 66 yards, longest 45 yards. That's phenomenal numbers, yet he only got 4 carries this game. I simply don't understand why the Titans didn't give D'Onta Foreman, their main running back in the past few weeks, more carries when Henry has been out for pretty much 10-11 weeks. And for those people who questioned my comment last video, yeah, I admit wrong to that. I said he was out for 5-6 weeks. I just knew he was out for a long time, but he was out 9-10 weeks, and you factor in the bye week, like 11 weeks out. So you want a running back like Derrick Henry, King Henry, probably I would say the best running back in the league with healthy, but to have him come back after 3 months off right into a super competitive playoff game, expecting him to perform very well with no rest, is a huge ask. So I felt like D'Onta Foreman definitely should have at least the same amount of carries as Henry to kind of slowly integrate Henry back in. And D'Onta Foreman clearly had success in the run game, especially right here at the fourth quarter. Let me show you guys that. Give me a sec. Right here, it was in the middle of the third quarter at the 77:38 mark. D'Onta Foreman ran 45 yards, but the Titans kind of gave up on Foreman for some odd reason after this brilliant run play by Foreman. They didn't really feed him the ball after that. I didn't understand why they gave Tannehill a shot, at passing the football when he had no success throughout the whole game, instead of just giving it to Henry and more importantly Foreman. And so moving down the list, after the Titans, failed it on fourth down, it was alright because it was still a tie game. And honestly, like I mentioned before, there is simply no excuse for Tannehill to throw that interception with 20 seconds left in the game, 3rd and 5. Like, that play befuddled me. If you look at the replay, there were 4 Bengals around that Titans receiver, Westbrook, and I was shocked at this play because with 20 seconds left on the clock, the Titans decided to give Tannehill a chance at passing the football when he already had 2 interceptions, and clearly he was not having that great of a game. Even that touchdown pass to AJ Brown, I would say great pass, but even better catch by AJ Brown. So I was stunned when the Titans decided to give Tannehill a chance at throwing the ball with 20 seconds left, playing at home, and I felt like they should just play it safe, run the football and see what happens, or at least call a safer play. I don't know what happened during that last play, but Tannehill passing to a Titans receiver with 4 defensive Bengals player around him, the risk is just way too high for such a play, especially at the end of the game. If they went to overtime, it's okay. They're at home, they're number 1 seed, they have their home fans, super avid, loyal Titans fan. But this play really changed the game because after that interception, I've been raving about Joe Burrow this whole season, and I was not surprised that Joe Burrow, at the Cincinnati 47-yard line, they really only needed like 20 or so yards to be in field goal range, especially with how clutch and reliable Evan McPherson has been this game and this season. And so, Joe Burrow, easy money, pass to Jamar Chase with 20 seconds left, and at that point I knew, the Bengals pulled through. And really, if you look at this game, I really want to give a huge shout out to the Titans, man. I believe they're a complete team, and look at that, man. Defensive line of the Titans, elite, 9 sacks for 68 yards. They rattled Joe Burrow all game long, and Joe Burrow still had a very solid, honestly an amazing game. Yeah, he had an interception, no touchdowns, but if you look at the overall game that Joe Burrow had, he was in control, he was reliable, he had some tough plays with the sacks, credit to the Titans defense. But Joe Burrow is much more superior than Tannehill, and that is why the Bengals won. Had Tannehill and Joe Burrow switch positions, and the Titans had a quarterback the quality of Joe Burrow, I would go with the Titans going all the way to the Super Bowl. But with Tannehill, I just don't believe that he has the ability to lead a team, to the Super Bowl. And I'll kind of break down why I feel like Ryan Tannehill is just not that great of a quarterback for a team like the Titans with so much talent on the defensive and with great running backs. King Henry, the best running back in the league, Deontay Foreman, and even the receiving team, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones. Yep, they returned, they showed out. But Tannehill lost the Titans this game. It's that simple, and I'll break this down a little bit more further in the upcoming video. But yeah, for now, I'm just super happy for the Bengals. Congrats to the Bengals for moving on. They're going to face either the Bills or the Chiefs. I feel like the Bills probably will come through out of that competitive game, but it's going to be a fantastic matchup. And to Titans fans, I really respect your guys' dedication to your team. And even though this was a really tough loss, I don't think there's that much to fix for this team. You just got to figure out Tannehill at the quarterback position, because I'm not buying in for Tannehill to lead this team to the promised land. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sam Talks Sports. I'm back, ready to make more fun predictions. This channel is all about just having fun as a sports fan, and I really appreciate all of you guys for watching, for the support. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to live a spicy life. Peace.